Hi, my name is Tubundu Williams, and today I want to talk to you about how I learned programming. Uh, I always imagined that programming was meant for only those guys who are engineers, those who have been in using computers for so long, those that are supervised. I never imagined myself being one of the programmers. Uh, yeah, because since growing up, I wasn't so much into computers and I didn't even know how to use a computer because actually for us, most of us in Africa, it's not so much common. Okay, nowadays computers are now becoming more common. But when I was growing up, computers were not that common. So I grew up not knowing how to use a computer. I started using a computer, I think I was at the age of 20, that's when I started using a computer for the first time. At 20 years, that's when I started using the computer. So now, imagine at 20 years, you don't know how to use a computer. There is no way you can imagine yourself being one of the computer experts because if you don't know how to use a computer, how can you know how to program? So I thought it's for the supervise the genius, those kids who grew up using computers. So I thought I would be in other things, doing other things. So growing up, that's what I did. After high school, actually, I dropped out in high school. That is it. So all the chances were like, all the odds were against me. So there was no way I could become a programmer. So since I had dropped out of high school, I didn't know how to use a computer. I did so many other jobs. I started with, I worked in an art gallery for 2 years. After that, I joined the factory. That's where I was for 5 years. So in those 5 years, I never thought about programming. So I was there in the factory, dealing with the machine, lifting this, lifting that. So there is no way I could think of myself as a programmer. But this is when the change came into my life. In December 2022, I was fired from my job in that factory where I had been for 5 years. So when I was fired from that job, I had to think of what to do next. There was two options. Either look for other jobs in factories still, because now I had some knowledge about the machines. I had opportunities. I could join other factories. But man, all these 5 years I had been in this factory, the work was too heavy. It was too heavy. And of course, I was also strong, but most of the times, all these years that I was in this factory, I had grown tired of doing heavy jobs. So I was thinking, this is now my chance to change my life. But how was I going to change my life if I didn't know any other skill? Thank God I had learned a little bit of editing and a little bit of how to use the camera. So when I was fired, I tried to pursue a career in photography, but I didn't have a camera. I had a very old camera, very old. So every time I try to approach people, take pictures of them, and if they can give me some money, so people could look at the camera and compare with their phones, and they will say, man, even my phone is better than your camera, so what are you going to take? So that's how I failed with photography. I was there jobless for from December to April. That's I had no job, so I was just there looking for jobs, looking, and I failed to get one. Until when I found myself on the island, because that's where I got an opportunity. Someone, a friend of mine, connected me and said, you know what, since you don't have a job, I have a brother of mine who is in the islands of Kalangala, so if you can do it, you can go and join him, you can be working together. I thought about it, man. Being here, I am jobless. But going to Kalangala, that is also another story. Because, man, going there, I had never even boarded into a boat. I didn't even know how life that side was. But I had no option. I had to go to Kalangala because I had to survive. I went to Kalangala. That was May 2023. Yeah, May 2023. I went to Kalangala. I was there for 3 months. I learned how to fish. I went there. I did fishing. But as I was fishing, my friend, this is when I realized that, man, in this life, I need to learn a skill, a soft skill that does not require physical strength. So, as we were there in the waters during the night, because we could sleep there, you go in the evening, you lay the nets, and then you sleep. In the middle of the night, you wake up, you remove the nets almost up to morning, and then you come back to the shore. So that's how I was living my life. But imagine, you have been working, okay, you have been here and there, but now you are in this new life you are not used to. Man, I was thinking that in the factory things were hard and it was so heavy. But when I went to the island, that's when I realized that things are more tougher. So I had to think of myself, I had to think of something new. But thank God, as I was there, I was called, I was given a call from my church. They called me, they had offered me a job. They called me, I came back, and then they offered me a job of editing videos for my church. Since I had gone away, I was doing that part-time. As I was working in the factory, I was helping around, record videos and post them on YouTube and all other social media platforms. But now when I went away, no one was there to do that. So they called me back. I came back to do that. But as I was doing that, I still had something in my mind. I was always asking myself, what else can I do? What else can I do? Until one day when I stumbled upon a video. It was this guy called Kevin Stratvat. The link is in the description below. You will see it if you want to also learn programming. So this guy, he made a statement that really got to my mind. The guy said, if you have a phone, everything on your phone, every time you hold a phone, you are using someone's program. I said, what? I had never thought about that, because every day we use phones, now we use computers, we use so many things. But the guy said, every time you open your computer, every time you open your phone, you are accessing someone's program. So when I looked at that video, I said, okay, let me give it more time. It's 1 hour. So the guy started explaining things, started explaining terms I had never heard of. The variables, the loops, functions. I had never heard of such things. But I said, okay, let me try and see what this is. So I liked that video. I got interested in programming, so I followed that video for 1 hour. After that, I go to my computer, I installed Python and VS Code, so I started programming along. After that, I tried to look for more videos of the same guy, but he had no other videos. So I looked for more videos about programming in Python for beginners. So I got so much into these videos. I got these videos, a lot of them. There is a guy that I got who was talking about Python, who taught Python, and in the way I love. This channel is called Tech with Tim. So I got so many videos of Tech with Tim, and I started learning, following along, doing practice and practicing and practicing. After some time, I realized that, man, this is really interesting. So I started spending more and more time in programming. I could come and work. Then after that, when I go home, immediately after reaching home like this, I jump on my computer, I start doing program. Till late. Sometimes I could go to sleep at around 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, just because I was doing programming. So I learned programming. I practiced a lot. After Python, I had to learn Django, I had to learn Flask. That's when I stumbled upon more other videos. There is CS50. So it was a lot, and it was interesting. Though it also came with some challenges, because if you are self-taught, when you get a challenge, there is no one you are going to ask. There is no one you are going to consult how you solve that problem. You have to solve it yourself. So it somehow helped me, because I had to find ways of how to solve these problems. I also had to learn more. Right now, I'm going to start learning React, because I have done JavaScript and HTML, CSS. So according to my roadmap that I made, I have to learn React next. But if you are there and you're also interested in learning programming, I'm going to give you a link in the description, some of the videos or some of the channels where I got most of my videos that have helped me learn programming. And if you are there, you are also a beginner like me, yeah, I would like to say that don't give up. Yeah, don't give up. Things might be hard, but if you really love it, yeah, it's really worth it. So don't be afraid. You can also start. Everyone can do programs, because if every time you open your phone like this, you see, every time you open your phone like this, you are accessing someone's program. One day it can be your program that someone is accessing. Do you know what that means? So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I didn't join programming mainly for money, but I joined programming because of passion. I love it. I love it. So if you are also interested in programming, it's not late. You can do it. If I did it and I'm teaching myself, yet I am not that super wise, I'm not a genius, you too can do it. So don't forget to like, subscribe. We can grow this channel and this community together. Yeah, I hope this video inspires you to also start programming. Don't forget to write your codes today. Yeah.